Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Serge T, and in this video I will be talking about WWE Friday Night Smackdown for the 10th of May 2024. To start things off, we get a recap of Backlash from Lyon, France. And then we get a look at the SmackDown brackets for the Queen of the Ring, the Queen of the Ring tournament first round. And is it me, or does it look like Jade and Bianca are on a collision course to meet in the finals? I mean, we see Naomi versus Nia at the top. Below is Jade versus Piper, Michin versus Tiffany, then Bianca versus Candice. So I have to say how I hate when matches like these are set up. And already from a mile away, you know already who is going to win. Now, Naomi will advance, this is my prediction, and meet Jade in the second round. Bianca will face Tiffany in the second round, unless they throw us a curve, and it's not that cut and dry. We'll see. And on the men's side, we get Styles versus Orton. Not predictable, there at least. Corbin versus Hayes, and I see Corbin, the loser, losing. Knight versus Escobar, it ends up that it's not happening tonight. But I predict when it does happen that Knight will win because he has the hot hand right now. And pretty much, sorry Santos, no goal for you. And then Dawkins replaces the Almighty, who picked up an injury and will face Tama Tonga, who looks to do what his pops Haku did back in the day, and that is become the king, although he was given the crown and scepter and robe and later be rechristened King Haku at a coronation ceremony. That's how old I am, folks, because I remember seeing that when that happened. It was from the expense of Harley Race, who had an injury, and he had to relinquish the thing, and then Haku just gets it, and then he even defended the crown against Harley Race. Harley Race wasn't able to win it back. But that's that history there when it comes to the King of the Ring, when it comes to Tama Tonga and his father. Now, SmackDown GM Nick Aldis is set to make an announcement. But first, he brings out the undisputed champ, Cody Rhodes, and I believe it is in regards to his next opponent because I saw a thumbnail on YouTube. Whoa! You know the whole deal. Sing along with Cody's theme. So, what do you want to talk about? Oh no, Aldis starts. So, we're not getting that just yet. And darn, and I wanted to hear that Cody catchphrase. No, I didn't. Now, congrats goes out to Cody by the GM, but the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournament and his next challenger, he's going to bring that up because we got that King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring tournament, and who's his challenger? And his next challenger has been determined, and it is Logan Paul. I even saw that when I was going by the thumbnails, and I saw it, and I first said to myself, don't tell me he's the one. And I'm thinking, yeah, well he is the United States champ, so I guess the title is the key to open up a challenge for the WWE title. And remember, he took on Roman. He took Roman to the limit in a match in Saudi for the undisputed title against Roman. Everybody giving his props. He actually did take Roman to his limit, and it was a very good match. So, Logan Paul, what do you want to talk about? Well, he knows, then Logan knows. It is the main event of King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, PLE. That's Logan talking. And Logan says this will lead to the kickoff to the Logan Paul Levesque era. And I'm like, oh, I get it. A play on the Pauls in their name. And Paul has some facts for Cody, and that he is the longest reigning champ in WWE. Not history. I'm sure he's talking about now. He's the greatest attraction, the greatest rookie of the year, the greatest rookie of all time, greatest rookie year of all time, and a superstar. Now, Cody is great, says Paul. He's the winner of the 2023 Royal Rumble, but who remembers that when it was Logan in the viral moment with Ricochet when they collided in the ring. Remember that? Yes, you won a Royal Rumble. I show speed and prime, my brand, my ideas, and my moment, and look who's taking all the credit. 3 years ago, he and Cody debuted on the same WrestleMania. Cody has had a WrestleMania under his belt, right? Yeah, Cody returned to WWE via WrestleMania 3 years ago. Not a debut, Logan. Wrong. And he claims he is the rocket fuel to WWE. And how can Cody finish his story, says Logan Paul, when it ain't his? What does he want to talk about? How about knocking Cody out, pinning him on top of his logo, and walking out the champ in Saudi? Cody bets a lot of people assume he's a dumbass. He's directing that at Logan, of course. He senses who Logan Paul is, and he's not a YouTuber, not an influencer, etc. He went towards toe-to-toe against Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather. And then he won the U.S. title in only his first match. First title match? Well, no. It was fourth match, right, his fourth match. And if he won that U.S. title, Cody's talking about himself, well, that would make him a Grand Slam champ. I didn't realize that he didn't have or won the U.S. title before. Logan looks to interrupt, but Cody's not finished yet. And he says that in addition to the positives, when it comes to Logan Paul, he is disrespectful, self-centered, delusional, and can't go one match without using the brass knucks. He takes credit for with what either of them can't. WWE is a team, and on the night of the PLE, we're going to find out where Logan Paul stands. What team is he on? And does that mean that he will have a champ versus champ with both titles on the line? Is it going to be that? Or is it just going to be the usual bargain basement champ versus champ for bragging rights at the end of the night? Paul may end up as a double champ. Now, Styles talks backlash and how the fans chanting cost him the title. He should be champ, he says, defending it against Logan Paul. And AJ Styles is going to look to use the King of the Ring tournament to once again face Cody and beat him for the title. Now, Nia Jax versus Naomi in the first round match in the Queen of the Ring tournament. A lot of physicality by Naomi, even taking flight with a suicide dive on Nia. But Jax's power proves to be her strongest attribute, and she switches the momentum over to her side. Nia has been imposing her will on Naomi as she comes back from the break. As we come back from the break. Now, Naomi has a lot of fight still in her, but Jax ends all that noise and delivers a headbutt and sends Naomi to the outside. Now, Naomi does attempt a sunset flip into the ring on Jax, but Jax attempts to sit out and flatten Naomi, but Naomi rolls out of harm's way, and Nia takes a painful landing on her derriere. But this match is a matter of speed and athleticism, versus power and dominance. Naomi at one point delivered a split leg moonsault and still wasn't able to pin the irresistible force. And then a top rope Hurricane Rana still couldn't keep Jax down. Gotta give it to her. 2 super kicks skip Nia on her knees. Naomi gets a little overzealous, and Jax catches her and sets her down with a powerbomb and lands a leg drop on the back of Naomi's head as she lays face down, I should say. Nia hits the Annihilator, but Naomi kicks out. Or does she? That she does, surprising, but I like the ending. And a very interesting development, as there is a possibility that Nia could face Jade in the next round. Now, Naomi did not kick out. I don't know how I read my notes. But, yeah. So Nia does move on to the next round to face the winner of the Piper Niven Jade Cargill match. Now, looking at, backstage, and then we see Corbin back. So much has changed and things weren't going Corbin's way last time. You know that. He was lost. Was he the king, a constable? Was he happy, sad? And he had to figure it out and found himself on NXT. And now that he's back on the main roster, he's going to do it as himself. Now, Carmelo comes in and tells Corbin, congrats, but when did he get drafted? You know, Hayes is saying that, oh, I must have missed it. No, you got jokes, says Corbin, and wants to lay some advice on Hayes. And Carmelo tells Corbin that the last guy who tried to give him advice pulled out of the tournament because he knew Hayes was going to run circles around him. Like, really there, Carmelo? But he instead, wants to give Corbin advice. That he should have did what Bobby did and pull out when he still had a chance. Because tonight, he's going to run circles around him. So, this means Corbin is a face and Melo? I feel like he's riding the whole tweener face heel, but he is a heel because he comes off more that than not. And their match in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament is on. This match is on now, and his boxing background neutralizes the arrogant Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo's all speed and athleticism as he slips out of the reach of Corbin in the corner and springboards and connects with a flying clothesline. But Corbin uses his power and grounds Melo with a Death Valley driver. Followed up by a vertical suplex in the corner, Melo turns it around and delivers a lung blower, or what he calls the first 48. And in the corner, Hayes sets up a move he calls the big shot, or was what's his name? Corey saying you just was calling it a big shot. But it's like a shoulder block, and Hayes looks to punch his ticket to the next round. He dives but rolls out, and Corbin delivers a Uranagi. It looks like, that's what it looked like, into the corner buckle and follows up with a clothesline on Melo. We see a cutter in the ring by Corbin, but Melo kicks out at the last second. And Corbin delivers the end of days. Well, he tried as Melo flips out of it and looks to win it with an inside, and he looks to win it with an inside cradle, and he does, and pins Corbin to advance to the next round. And Corbin loses, and he is back to square one like he was when he was on the main roster last time. Corbin seems to not be able to catch a break. Why did he continue to employ him? You take him, put him on NXT. He comes back. He was actually getting applause. He was actually getting people behind him. So you may have done the right thing, and now he's on a good path, and then you make him lose again, and it's going to make people go, oh, I remember last time he was here. He was a loser. Nothing's changed, so nobody's going to get behind him. So cut your losses, WWE. Let him go, because you're not going to do anything with him. I feel sorry for the guy. He's got all that raw talent. He was a guy that was being pushed by McMahon. He was a guy who looked like he was going to be the next thing. And then I think the thing that started his whole downfall was when he was not unable to cash in his Money in the Bank. John Cena, he caused him to fail. I believe he tried to cash it in on Jinder Mahal. And that blew up in his face. So, what are you going to do with him? I guess nothing. Hopefully they'll do something. But this is not the way to bring him back. Yeah, you got to make Carmelo look strong. But Carmelo Hayes at this point, he's still being developed. He's still young. He's got a great look, great skill set. He's money in that ring. But I think that he could have dropped it, lost. At least make Corbin look strong in this comeback. His return to the main roster. Now, Kayla Braxton asked Bayley who's her favorite in the Queen of the Ring tournament. And then Bianca mentions, well, there's Jade Cargill, and then Chelsea Green saunters in with Piper Niven in tow and is confident her BFF will beat Jade. And as she leaves, Piper eyeballs Bayley, and the champ, you can look at her and you know she's thinking, what the fuck? You know, that what the F? You can see the letters on her head, just thinking, the F? What was that about? I don't know. Now, is Orton a favorite in this tournament like Styles? You know, is he a favorite like him? But Orton makes it known that he has never become the king of the ring. And will it be a great feeling for Randy when he hits the RKO out of nowhere? Orton tells Byron Saxton to stand by. But then Orton has a little more to say. What does he have to say? Here's him talking. He's like, you know what? That reminds me. This is for you, Tama Tonga. You took out my friend, my partner, my tag team partner, Kevin Owens at Backlash. You and the Bloodline took him out. You think I forgot about that? No, 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 son. I have not forgotten about that. I see that you are safe and sound on the other side of this bracket, but something tells me, Tama, that you and I are going to cross paths. And when we do, it won't be an RKO out of nowhere. Not for you, no, no, no. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure your ass sees it coming. Very intense there. I mean, he's always intense, but there seems like a little different something to it. Very personal that the Bloodline made it with Orton about doing what they did to KO. Now, a storm is coming as you see Jade make her way, and man, she's looking good as usual and making that tag team championship look legit as she is. And as Piper Niven comes down that aisle, for those of you who continue to shower hate on Samantha Irvin, when I didn't hear Samantha mention Chelsea Green's name, the absence is truly felt. No hate on this ring announcer, but no charisma, no change in her announcing, the same tone, same approach to her ring announcing, and it lacks character like Samantha Irvin. Now, Alicia Taylor is her name, and I just read that she was moved to SmackDown. Okay, good for her. But then, is Mike Rome going to NXT? Well, that is mentioned according to Fightful Select. But even the report doesn't truly know if Samantha will do SmackDown and Alicia goes to Raw. Like, whatever. And ironically, Rome was called up to the main roster in 2019 and Alicia replaced him on NXT. So this was her way of earning her way to the main roster. Good for her. Now, in this match, the stalemate on the collar elbow tie-up. And Jade should just do fine in facing Piper Niven. Both women dare the other to try shoulder blocks off the ropes. Neither budge, and after a few tries and one another, Jade tries just one more. She ducks underneath an attempted Niven strike and knocks the Scottish lass on her ass. Niven gets offense in, but Jade delivers a super kick and drives Niven into the corner. Jade charges but is caught by a waiting Piper Niven who catches Cargill and drops her to the mat and hits a senton for a near fall. Niven places Jade on the second rope and chokes her while Green looks on, and she slaps Cargill while the ref is distracted by Niven. Piper Niven delivers a slam to Jade, and a short arm clothesline drops Jade, and another delivers the same results, but Jade comes back with a flurry of shots to Piper's, but a headbutt stops Cargill in her tracks. But she is able to power up Niven and deliver a blue thunderbomb, delivered effortlessly. And it gets only a near fall. Now, Cargill charges with a splash and delivers two in succession. It has a receipt for Chelsea Green as Jade knocks her off the ring apron. Now, Jade gets Piper in position for a jaded, but Niven reverses it and delivers a headbutt that sends Jade into the corner. Piper delivers a splash of her own and Jade drops into the seated position. And Piper sets up a cannonball and connects on Cargill for a near fall. Got to give it to Jade. She took that the full brunt of Piper Niven's cannonball. And you see the difference in how Jade is booked in WWE, right? In comparison to Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks in AEW. It's like, this is me talking, man. Jade is earning her money, being booked strong and getting W's. Mercedes is just waiting to wrestle at Double or Nothing and seemingly picking up L's without even having wrestled yet in AEW. But Jade disrupts a possible Vader bomb, I believe, and connects with a pump kick and puts Piper into position and delivers Jaded for the 1-2-3. And Jade advances to the second round where she will face an old foe from the Royal Rumble, and that is Nia Jax. That is sure to be quite a sight. I can't wait. And Jade has never looked better. I see her hard work here. Never looked sloppy and got it done. Hard work, as they say, pays off, and it paid off for Jade, and I'm proud of her. It's like, great work, Jade. Well done. Then as Jade walks back up the aisle, vibing with the crowd, her tag team championship partner, Bianca, her music hits, and they both meet up. They do their thing and pose, and Bianca is set to advance in her first round match against Candice LeRae. But a Shinsuke Nakamura vignette plays, and it translates. My art is not to just compete, it is to conquer, to captivate, and to destroy all who dare to stand against me in the ring. Because I am here to rightfully claim what is mine, the pinnacle of SmackDown, and now that I am here, no one is safe. The master of strong style does not just plan to rise, I plan to reign supreme. So watch closely, because everything on SmackDown is about to change, and it will never be the same again. What is Shinsuke talking about? Is he in the tournament? I don't recall. How is he going to conquer? How is he going to ensure that SmackDown is about to change and will never be the same again? It will be the same, Shinsuke, if you're booked the same way, losing every week, and I get it. His, thing now is to put people over. But Shinsuke has too much in him still, and he's still a guy that a lot of us want to have a successful run in WWE. Will it happen? Not at this rate. Now, back to the match as Candice LeRae. She's with Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell's in her corner. And she looks to bump Bianca from the Queen of the Ring tournament. Like that's going to happen. Bianca establishes her power game, of course, and Candice needs to use her world-class wrestling ability. But outside, Bianca swings LeRae around and into a barricade already. Being dominant, already showing why she's Bianca Belair and she's the EST. But inside, Bianca hits a suplex and mounts her in the corner, but LeRae slips out, but is kicked away, and when Bianca backflips out of the corner to avoid a charging Candice LeRae, she lands awkwardly and her left knee buckles. Wisely, Candice targets that left knee that was softened up by Indy earlier in the match, and LeRae delivers a drop kick that may signal the end for Bianca. The EST is in jeopardy as LeRae brings down fist on her knee, but Belair shows how tough she is, getting Candice off her and performs a nip-up, but favors her left knee. Get up, says Belair. And the EST gets Candice up in perhaps a standing suplex. But LeRae gets behind Bianca and delivers a chop block from behind, targeting the EST's left knee. And to quote Wade Barrett, you might not like it, but this is called giving a tactical master class by Candice LeRae, and that she was doing. And you can't argue that, and is exactly what LeRae has to do to combat Bianca's offense. But somehow the EST gets Candice up on her shoulders into a torture rack submission and transitions into the KOD and covers LeRae and gets the pinfall victory. I didn't know that she was going to, seamlessly transition into that and get that 1-2-3. But she did that. And that's a great win for Bianca. But let's see who she faces in the next round. whether it be Michin or Stratton. And we will see the tag champs in SmackDown's, and will we see the tag champs, the women's tag champs, in SmackDown's final in the Queen of the Ring tournament? Because I know they got one bracket over here and one bracket over here. And then I guess the winners of either side are going to face, in the finals for either side, they're going to be the ones that collide at the Queen of the Ring and the King of the Ring tournament, PLE and Saudi. So who am I saying is going to... I say Jade for the SmackDown side, for Raw, maybe Io. I got to think about that. But for now, that's what I'm going with. Now, the Bloodline are seen in the dressing room, and Tama is getting pumped up, psyched out for his King of the Ring first round match as Heyman enters the scene. But Heyman wants to have a moment alone with Solo. Will he get that? Well, Solo glances over at Tama and Tanga Loa, and they step out. "Thank you," says Heyman. "Listen, I know my place in life. I am Roman's wise man. As we want Roman chants are heard from the crowd. You constantly hear that every week. So you know that when Roman comes back, that babyface, turn that they wanted, McMahon wanted everybody to accept Roman as the face, and it never happened. Now it's set. When he comes back and we see the whole thing play out, Rock being the one that's truly in charge of Solo Sikoa's bloodline. And then you'll see Roman on the other side with the Usos. Heyman will be on the side again, and then you might see Jacob Fatu on their side. But remember, the Usos and Jacob Fatu, their fathers were, I believe, in the Samoan SWAT team, the tag team back in the day. So they're going to definitely align with each other. And The Rock, who considers Haku his uncle, he's close with Tama and with Tangaloa. And of course, even Hikuleo, who's, they even have another brother too. So that makes sense for those guys to be aligned with how they're going to be aligned when we see this battle of the bloodline, civil war, if you will. And then he talks to Solo. He goes, Solo, you're making decisions. And then, like your decision, says Solo, to lie and pull Roman from the draft. Yeah, that won't backfire on us, Paul. And because of that mistake, we got drafted in the 3rd round when we should have been number 1. It's like you're trying to take money out of my pocket. You're trying to do that. Heyman says no. Solo says, you trying to take food away from my kids to eat, huh? You want my kids to starve, Paul? No, says the wise man. Well, last week, says Solo, you walked by my brother Jay. Did you try to give him a signal or look that you needed help? No, said Heyman. Solo gives a smirk and under his breath says, okay. And then he continues, understand you're the wise man and that you're trying to protect Roman from the draft, protect us, protect the family, the bloodline. Okay, you haven't spoken to Roman since he lost our title at WrestleMania, right? Solo looks at Heyman with intention. He's like waiting for him to answer. It's like this, Right, says Heyman. Well, I have, says Solo, followed by a wide-eyed reaction from Heyman. I've spoken to him. What, says Heyman? And until he gets back, says Solo, I am in charge of the bloodline. I call the shots. And you will be my wise man, by the orders of the tribal chief. Now give me a hug, wise man. Bring it in. It's okay, bring it in. Yeah, I love you. As Solo can be seen glancing over at Tangaloa while at the same time saying, I love you, wise man. And then you see him, when he's hugging him, he kind of looks at the side of Heyman's neck and he's just like looking like this and, stuff like that. Like it's just, you could see. I think Solo is seething. I think he's really upset with Paul Heyman. And one day he's going to snap. probably going to call Roman to bring your ass to the arena, or else we're going to beat the living, you know what, out of Paul Heyman. I don't know. There's something there. You can see that Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa don't even have any kind of love, even a little bit of respect for Paul Heyman. Now, Street Profits along with B-Fab are in the house, but it's not a tag team match as Angelo Dawkins steps up to go in place of the Almighty, who was injured training, and will face the Bloodline's Tama Tonga. I love Dawkins, but he has no chance against Tama Tonga. It's not like he can beat him. He can't beat him, you know. He can, but there's just too much momentum on the Bloodline side. And we get to a coming soon vignette, and it is Andrade El Idolo, who starts by saying, "I'm a third generation luchador. My destiny is here in WWE. The era of Andrade El Idolo has begun." And then we see a coming soon the SmackDown graphic. And we shall see what he brings to SmackDown. I have a great feeling he will get his shine in WWE, not the lack thereof in AEW like he was given by Tony Khan and AEW. And we see this match start between Angelo Dawkins and Tama Tonga. And according to Barrett, WWE didn't sign Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa back in the day, like around 2008 or whatever. I mean, that's when Barrett said that he knew about them in 2008. And it was all because they weren't trustworthy, and being that WWE is a publicly traded company, I guess the risk wasn't worth it. Like, wow, man, that is something I am sure none of us knew, but sure as hell, we're not surprised. But that, you know, by the little bit of facts there. And look who the dad is, enough said, right? You know, Haku was pretty out of control. You know, I mean, in character, I guess, you know. I've heard nothing but good things about him, and that he's really a good guy, laid back. I'm pretty sure those guys in real life are, you know, come on. They're just playing characters, right? Usually the good guys are the ones that are pretty much the assholes in real life, and then the ones who play villains or heels are actually the good people in real life. This is how it is. That's how it is in movies. That's how it is in anything. Anybody in TV, you see them, and if they're like a heel, or, you know, like not a heel but a villain, they're usually the good guy. And then guys that are nice and all that play the nice guy, they're usually the assholes. I don't know. That's how it always kind of comes out often, maybe more so than not. But Tama is just taking this intensity and raining down brutality on Dawkins. But Tama misses a dive into the corner, and Dawkins puts, you know, in on Tama, and he ends his offense with a pounce that sends Tonga to the outside. And Dawkins ain't taking none of Solo's lip and pops him in his mouth and sends Solo to the floor. And then Montez says, "I want some too." And then he does a 450 flip and splash, not a splash, but a 450 in the midair. And then he takes out Solo and Tonga Loa on the outside. At least this time he didn't go over the damn, ring post like he usually does, flipping forward and disconnecting. But inside, Dawkins performs a sky high that D'Lo Brown would approve of and gets a near fall. But don't turn your back on the bloodline, Tez, as Tonga Loa, drives Ford headfirst into the ring post and holds him for acting tribal chief Solo Sikoa, and as he delivers the Samoan spike. Now I understand Dawkins' concern, but Tama Tonga's lurking behind him in the ring and delivers a flatliner and scores the victory, and advances to the next round to face either AJ Styles or Randy Orton. Now, side note, I love how they all have their fingers pointed up. Post-celebration, right? Post-match. As Solo spins around, to ensure Heyman's got his finger pointed up, and Paul assures Solo, that he is doing it too, even pointing at his finger saying, "See, it's up." But Solo ensures that Ford isn't alone. He must have give, Montez Ford a little partner to lay next to him, in the hospital bed or whatever you want to call it, or even there on the ring floor, and gives Dawkins a Samoan spike as well. As Heyman is standing on the apron in shock, and Solo looking his way, as he tells his man, "Let's go." Now, we see Blair Davenport in the vignette, coming soon to SmackDown kind. And she says, throughout my career, I have been unjustly labeled as narcissistic, egotistical, or sadistic. And that is simply not accurate or fair. Winning, that's where I succeed. You have to send a message, so that's what I do. I look for fragile, delicate parts of my opponents and I break them. I show the whole world that your little heroes are truly, really, truly pathetic. Anyone can be respected, appreciated, celebrated, but Blair Davenport will be feared. And like I say, those people that are seeing her now, maybe not familiar with Blair Davenport. I've been familiar with her, even when she was Bea Priestley in AEW and other places. This girl's legit. The reason why she's not a champion yet, I don't understand in WWE. But I think she may do that on the main roster. Don't sleep on her, folks. Because she is, without a doubt, one of the real talents in that ring. And you're going to be pleasantly surprised when you see how she works in that ring. Now, main event time, and it's first round King of the Ring tournament match. Orton versus Styles in a match that should be worthy of this spot on the card. That can go either way, and it's not so predictable. And then this stupid-ass crowd like sheep are emulating what France did at Backlash, and that's sing Orton's theme. Just like Orton's theme was sung by France for over like 12 minutes. And everyone, everywhere you went, people had to annoyingly sing his theme. Now France has gone and started this. France, come on now. And then for that, France, I asked why. It's like, but anyway, on to the main event. And right off the bat, Orton has Styles on the receiving end of his particular Viper-like offense. And as we come back from the commercial, Orton has Styles backed up in the corner and raining down punches as the crowd count. AJ soon takes over and has Orton in his sights, but Orton side slams AJ onto the top of the barricade and sets up Styles for a draping DDT on the barricade, but AJ just like instantly knew what he was going for. I don't even think Randy cinched it in. And then he gives Randy a forearm shiver and looks to set up Orton to be on the receiving end of the phenomenal forearm. But he just leaps onto the announcer's desk, and then he leaps into the waiting arms of the Viper, who side slams Styles on the apron and onto the announce desk. The crowd chants one more time, and Orton obliges the crowd and delivers it onto the announcer desk again and proceeds to take a bow. But inside the ring, AJ takes over and systematically works on Styles' knee, first delivering a drop kick and then a chop block as well. And as Orton is on the outside, leaned up against the barricade, trying to get his bearings, his knees kind of bothering him there, Styles gets up a head of steam and runs around the ring and delivers a chop block that nearly turns Orton inside out. And inside the ring, Styles ain't letting up. And a fun fact, neither men have been a King of the Ring, which is surprising as long as Randy has been in WWE. Styles, not so surprised, because really how many times has the King of the Ring tournament been held in WWE during his tenure so far? In the last 8 years, how many times? 2 times maybe? I don't know. I can recall one time, and that was when, Xavier Woods won it. I know it's been, but it's just like, that's how really bad. Because I know, remember when Corbin won, and then Shinsuke took his crown from him, and then they had that back and forth with him, right? That's one other time I could think. Now back to the match, and Orton kicks AJ over the top rope. Powers his way out because he was not letting up on that knee, and he saves him some valuable time and get that circulation back to his left leg, his knee area. And as AJ gets back into the ring, an attempt of a calf crusher is avoided by Orton, who delivers a brutal kick to the sternum, chest region of the phenomenal one. And Orton starts those clotheslines that usually end with a spinning powerbomb, but Styles avoids it and tries to end this match with an Oklahoma roll into a pin, but only a near fall is had. And then Orton hits a glancing European uppercut, and Styles is sent outside to the apron. But Randy is grasping that left knee, leg area. Styles looks like he could try the phenomenal forearm, but AJ sticks his head through the second rope. Orton looks to cinch in AJ for the draping DDT, but Styles may have been setting up for the Viper as he pulls on his left leg and drops it over the ropes. And now it's time to hit that forearm, AJ. Styles looks to be the Predator as he eyes the moment to strike. But Orton knocks Styles off the top rope. And sends Styles tumbling to the mat, but AJ somehow is still able to lock Orton into the calf crusher. But Orton is fighting it and gets AJ into a chin lock, but AJ rolls out of it. But Orton finally delivers the power slam, and is an RKO to Styles in the immediate future. But Orton goes for the pin, and Styles is not out of this yet. And Randy looks to pay a little homage to his father, Cowboy Bob Orton, and deliver a superplex, but Styles slips out and pulls Randy out and causes him to face plant the top turnbuckle. And Orton goes vintage as he delivers the draping DDT and plants AJ face first into the mat, but can't capitalize and go for a pin. But Randy readies himself to hit the RKO. Styles avoids it and finds himself on the outside ring apron, and he connects with the phenomenal forearm and goes for the cover. But Orton, ever the ring general, ever having that awareness of a veteran, grabs the bottom rope before the 3 count. Styles goes for the kill and looks to deliver the Styles Clash, but eats an RKO instead, and Orton pins Styles and advances to the next round, the second round in the King of the Ring tournament. Yeah, I mean, AJ goes, Styles Clash! Like, go ahead and just tell Randy, hey, Randy, I'm going to do the Styles Clash. Randy's like, oh, okay, no, he said it. I didn't know he was going for it, but I'm ready now. Like, you going to say it? Why are you going to tell him? I guess he was confident. I guess he felt Randy was in that vulnerable position and that he wasn't going to, get out of it or anything like that. But the right person won. I think Styles that's his thing right now. They might give him another run with the title. They might, he was in the finals with Rollins to try to, crown the first ever World Heavyweight Champion. So he might get another shot. Maybe he'll win it. Take on, I don't know, man, because who is Damian Priest going to put the title on the line against next? You really want a heel going against a heel? Unless AJ Styles slowly goes back to being a babyface, gets back with the OC and they take on, Judgment Day. I think they tried that before, didn't they? Yeah, I think they did. Didn't work out, did it? But I enjoyed SmackDown way better than Dynamite. That's for sure. Very entertaining, very entertaining matches. I like the promos, and I definitely like the Shinsuke Nakamura, Blair Davenport, and Andrade El Idolo. Their vignettes, coming soon vignettes for like Blair Davenport and Andrade. That's what a lot of people want. That's what I want, is to give these guys promos and don't just stick them out there when during McMahon's tenure. Stick them out there and let them flounder. They don't know how to swim, just throw them in the pool and see if they can float. See if they can swim back. That was his style. Triple H ain't gonna do that. He's gonna give him a proper build. He's gonna give him a way of introducing himself to the crowd, because no one reacts to these guys when that happens. Some of them still don't get reactions. Depends on where they go. Look at Gargano and Ciampa. They went, I forget where that was, but man, people were just out of their mind cheering them on. But then next town, you could have heard a pin drop. Forget the pin, you could have heard a feather drop. That's how it is. Because Whether you believe it or not, there are people that I know at work and some other people in the past that I talked to, and they don't know NXT. You know, they couldn't tell you who was on it, what it means, what it is. Oh, I only watched the main roster. I only watched the main roster. WWE. I watch everything in WWE. Well, I don't watch the main event, but anything that's important. I mean, I don't watch NXT just because old mushmouth Booker T is still there. So until he doesn't have that thing over WWE's head, then I think they're going to release him or let him go or remove them from thing. I don't know. I'm thinking he does have something over there. I don't know why. Why would he keep him there? You have all these other commentators that get complaints. They can't carry their weight when it comes to commentating, and then you just let him go. Booker T, is he grandfathered in? It doesn't affect him, no matter how bad he is. You know? And I want to watch it. One of my favorites, Roxanne Perez, is the women's champion in NXT. I want to see her work and perform. I want to see her, because she's a heel now. She's doing a good job with that. There's a lot of other people there too that I like. Some I can do without, but get Booker T out of there. Put him on kickoff shows, pre-shows, all that stuff. Let him be that expert analysis. Remember in Backlash, wasn't he the expert analysis or analyzer, or what you want to call that, right? So what does that mean? I don't know what that means. But I like how everything's lining up. Jade is going to be taking on Nia. And then Bianca, she's going to be facing the winner of the Tiffany Stratton Michin match. And it's going to be Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany's probably going to go over. Or maybe it's going to be Bianca. And they're going to want Bianca and Jade to face off. Maybe put a little of that crack into their team, maybe starts of it. And by the time WrestleMania comes around, they're going to have a grudge match. Might be for a title, might not. But I think that everybody's going to be down for that. And I think people are going to look forward to the Nia Jax match with her because, we saw what she did with Nia in the Royal Rumble. I'm talking about Jade Cargill. Now, is she going to be able to do that in a one-on-one match? Now, she really, really did well against Piper Niven. I think that's the way for them to show us that she can take on someone who's almost the same size as Nia. Powerful, bigger than some girls, and they use that to their advantage to be dominant and all that stuff, right? So I think that's a way. And if you look at Jade, I don't want to hear it anymore. She looks like she's improved a lot. But maybe it's that whole thing that she has, her moveset that she uses, and it looks good when she does it. And that's really all she has to do. She doesn't have to do much. She doesn't have to go out there and put on a damn clinic like what's his name would do, Kurt Angle would do. Do the China. Do it like China did, where she had her strengths and she used them. And that's why everybody loved her, because now when people point it out, you do go, yeah, she wasn't that great of a wrestler, China, but she did what she did, and she was an anomaly. She wrestled men. The only time that I've ever seen that anybody saw that. And in recent years, memories, the only match that I saw that it was a woman against a man, an intergender match, was when Rhea Ripley, wrestled Akira Tozawa. Akira Tozawa's way smaller than her, so of course, yeah, but could she go against, Rhea, go against bigger people, bigger guys, 250 pounds, 240 pounds, or something like that, Go against, guys that are like Damian Priest and, Bronson Reed and, those guys, would it be believable? China made it believable. And I think Jade could make it believable. Why don't you do another thing with her, and like you did with China, have Jade wrestle guys? I've said this before, but even Candice LeRae, she wrestled men in the Indies. So did Asuka. Asuka can take an ass whooping, not now because she's injured, but she did against Minoru Suzuki. I seen a little bit of that match. I had to turn it off. It was brutal. You know, that's what they do in Japan. So why not do that here? I mean, maybe Triple H is going to think about doing that. Maybe not all the time, especially in this day and age. Where the sensitivity of people out there, and they're just going to say that, oh, you're making it appear that a woman's being beat up by a man. You know what I mean? But pro wrestling has always been like that, where you've had men wrestle women, and the women don't complain. Who's wrestling? They enjoy that because that is part of wrestling. They can take it. They're tough. These girls are tough. And I think that wrestling has to take them seriously because even in AEW as well as in WWE, they sometimes do not feature them. At least they're getting time in their matches, not like the 2-minute matches they used to have back in the day. But, they need to take them seriously because they're no joke. They're legit. Some of them can really kick some ass if you let them just put them out there and let them go. You don't have to give them a 20-minute classic or 30 minutes. I mean, you can. That'd be something if they can do it. If they can pull it off. But that's just how things should be now. It's a different era. It's a different time. And I think these women are more than able to show us that they could be right up there with the guys when it comes to main eventing and putting up matches that's going to raise your eyes and make you raise your damn like excitement level. Yes, there's been main events. WrestleMania main event was Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, right? But have there been more like that? Especially at WrestleMania. Yeah, there was Bianca, right? And Sasha Banks. But how many more have happened since then? 35. That's WrestleMania 35. Been now 5 years. But, but we'll see what happens in the future. So all we can hope for is that changes continue to happen. We've been seeing a lot in this recent age right now. But anyway, that's my video. But I guess I talked about everything. I enjoyed SmackDown. Better than Dynamite. Maybe slightly better than Raw. So right now it's the best program. I guess it's the best one now because there ain't nothing else going on this, weekend. Yeah, Collision's there. Rampage happened. Don't watch it. So, as far as I'm concerned, SmackDown won the prize this week as the best show for me. But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And as always, please click like and share, comment. Please subscribe. My YouTube, the subscriber count goes up and up. It's been ticking up. I like it. I'm glad that people are interested in my channel enough to subscribe. So please spread the word. And those of you who have watched this video for the first time and you like what you hear, please do so. And also, everybody, please, click the notification button. Find it wherever you can. Like I said, on the mobile device, I think that's the one that you have to put all, or else you won't get notified. But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, appreciate it. Thank you very much. And until next time, take care, and I'll see you in my next video.